In high school, probably high school, but it was a little test. Glad JP made that free throw after they iced him, so it was cool.
How do you stay warm in a situation like that where, you have a break right after halftime?
Yeah, it wasn't as tough as I thought it was. I had a little heat. They let us shoot, so it was really just another halftime for real.
And you came out of that break, I feel like, with more energy than. How were you really able to do that, and what were you seeing in that stretch?
I think Mike G just made the emphasis on not letting this, be something that deters us from, our goals. So he was kind of putting emphasis on it, and I had that same mindset. I didn't want to, and the first 3 minutes they went on a run. So that was something that we had to stop, and I knew with our energy, I feel like it's a game of run, so we won't get it back.
No Imani, no Isaiah today. As being the floor general on the team, man, how do you galvanize the troops, man? Whereas today everybody ate. It wasn't really a person that didn't touch the floor today that got, like 4 or 5 points. So how do you kind of just galvanize everybody and keep everybody, set?
That's huge for us, especially with guys like that. Those are, 2 20-plus a night scorers. So with losing them, we got to step up, and a lot of guys stepped up. Pete played a huge game. Zaire, Aleem, Justin, I go down the whole list. Rob, Tay, everybody had a big night, which ultimately, kind of softened the punch of losing those two guys.
And then how do you just the momentum? How do you guys keep the early momentum like you did? Whereas Friday, kind of started a little slow, but today you guys just kind of started out fast and kept it flowing until about the second quarter. How do you guys keep that momentum going from now on?
Oh, that's a point of emphasis for sure. But just having 2 years under our belt, we can't let a slow start or a fast start, get us too high or too low. There's been plenty of games we started off slow, plenty of games we started off fast, and we up 10, up 15 at halftime, and then it's a 2-point game in the third quarter. So ultimately, that's our goal, to put 4 great quarters together. But if we can't, we gotta know how to balance the ups and downs of the game.
The big fella in the middle, Pete, man, he took on a big challenge today for trying to fill in the shoes of Isaiah, and successfully did that, man. Just talk about just Pete's game today overall.
That's big, especially being a rookie, coming in your second game, having to step up and be a starter. I feel like it's gonna be big for his confidence, and just kind of learning the NBA game. It's so much different in college, and we talking to him. We have a great coaching staff that allows everybody to have confidence. So when he comes out there, it's I have the full confidence in him. I feel like everybody has confidence in him, to do what he did tonight. And I feel like he's good enough to do it on a consistent basis.
Coach Devontae, last game you told us he couldn't get minutes because of how solid this team was.
Mm-hmm.
Today his number was called 11 points, solid offense, solid defense. Just talk about, just how, he could go from not playing in the opener to today just having to switch on and,
Yeah, I
lights
mean,
out.
That's kind of been Devontae for us since we picked him up midway through the season last year. His minutes have fluctuated at times, game to game, but the one thing about Devontae is when that number gets called, he's ready to come out and produce. And he makes things happen. He's fearless, and, he's a two-way player. He plays both ends of the floor. So was really just happy to see him have a good night. And it wasn't that necessarily that, he couldn't play because we're just so talented. It was one of those things where, that night it called for that rotation. And I told these guys it's always a long season, so try not to go on the roller coaster ride of this thing and just continue to be consistent and steady and know that everybody's opportunities will come.
Talk about Pete's aggressiveness. Tonight he was aggressive around the rim, from the three-point line, grabbing rebounds. He was everywhere.
Yeah, Pete was a stud. He was a stud tonight. 19 points, 10 rebounds, went 7 for 7 from the free throw line for 12 points, which is huge in the G League. I mean, he got 12 points from the free throw line, so that says a ton. But I just thought just his effort, his focus, his physicality with the bigs that they had and the size that they had on that side of the floor. I thought he did an incredible job of protecting the paint, rebounding for us. And there's 10 rebounds on the stat sheet, but that doesn't even take into account all the times he went and hit and made sure his guy didn't get it and allowed somebody else on our team to come up with the rebound. So obviously Isaiah being out tonight, somebody had to step in and fill in for that missing piece, and he did a tremendous job.